Hello, this is Top Prep Sports Interviews by Sunil Sundaraj. Tonight, I'm happy to be speaking with global sports consulting JUCO stock riser prospect Noah Gathings. Noah, once again, thank you, as said, for taking time out to speak with me. And again, congratulations on your success, playing basketball.
No, thank you, and I appreciate you for having me on here as well.
No problem. Hey, let's jump right into it, Noah, just in terms of 6'4" guard that can play both the shooting and point guard positions. I mean, incredible 6'11" wingspan, multi-dimensional. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that you pride yourself, as an excellent shooter and efficient offensive player, and you say that shooting is by far your greatest strength, solid ball handler, very willing. Just talk about, again, impressive, I said, traits and qualities that you possess on the hardwood court. It's got to feel good, to see your hard work paying off here, Noah.
No, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Just like you said, I feel that shooting is, my best ability. And that really worked out as that was kind of the role that I was, molded in, or I happened to mold into for the season.
Hmm.
So, like I said, expected to, just be a knockdown shooter, occasionally come off, make plays with the ball, but really, just be that guy that at the very least a good catch and shoot guy, and a willing defender as well.
Yeah.
Um, and like you said, just seeing that work kind of come into fruition, the journey's been crazy. Like you said before, almost was done with basketball, prior to this season, and was just gonna enroll at university just to go to school, but decided to give it, one last ride just to see where it would take me, and
Yeah.
to see kind of how things have panned out is really just, it's been awesome to see.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see that you have that drive and passion that, obviously you love the game of basketball and just, continuing, said to excel at it. Hey, just talk in terms of, playing for Jackson College here. Noah, is before we come on there, you said you wrapped up the season a couple weeks ago. Uh, I mean, again, amazing stats that, I look at the numbers. I mean, despite only averaging 13 points or 13 minutes per game, excuse me, averaging, I think, 9.4 points per game, 3-point rebounds, 1.7 assists. Just again, remarkable, just in terms of how dynamic you were in limited amount of time, out there on the court.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I kind of would attribute that to um, just really just during the summer, just really getting in those game reps. So when it sounds kind of cliche, but when I get in the game, it just felt a lot more natural, and then really
Hmm.
just kind of push myself, always just, it can be harder. You could do better. You could do, like, just always trying to push myself. And
Yeah.
then, everything slowed down as, I got in the game, and then, just game, I started off a little bit rough, but as I kind of got into the swing of things, everything started to flow, and it was real well, and
Yeah.
kind of showed through the stats. But
Yeah.
uh,
No, and then of course, you know, that you led the Michigan Community College Athletic Association 3-point field goal percentage of 45.3%, which ranked you 14th in the nation. I mean, that is just again incredible achievement. I mean, just the fact that you were able to really, knock it down from behind the arc. Talk about that, working on again on your outside game and be able to hit from long range here, Noah.
yeah, definitely. Thank you for the praise. But I would say honestly, I feel that some of it is just God given ability. Just
Mhm.
with the shot. I think it's just with the hand-eye coordination and just being able
Yeah,
to that, especially with the range. But I think the biggest thing, like I said, just getting those reps in and getting real high speed game reps in, and then shooting a lot of different types of shot. Off the dribble,
yeah,
catch, shoot, step back, just a large variety of different ways to get shots off and get to my spots. And
yeah,
it definitely helped me with, once the defense took one part of the shot away, or cheated screens, I was able to
hmm,
kind of work my way around that.
yeah. I can see you're really a true student of the game, that you really pick up on the nuances of it, because I think that's what you have to do, is work on your fundamentals and skills, and those repetitions that you said really do pay off once you enter the game. But the fact that you can really have a significant impact when you're out there on the court, and in terms of helping your team in terms of scoring, and then as you alluded to as well, Noah's on the defensive end.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I was honestly, when I was younger, I wasn't that great of a defender. And
Hmm.
obviously if you want to stay on the floor, you have to, be able to stay in front of, at least keep your guy in front of you. And
Yeah,
once I kind of as I started to, I was a late bloomer. So once I started to, kind of grow into my body more, and I was able to, gain some lateral quickness, and that came with training as well.
yeah.
I kind of did um was able to kind of use my athleticism to my advantage, like you said, the
Hmm.
wingspan,
Yeah,
but also just off ball. I tried to pride myself on that end of the spectrum as well. Just
yeah.
with IQ and playing help defense and making sure that I'm not just worried about my guy, but also making sure I'm able to help my teammates out, and vice versa.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic to hear. Hey, let's just talk about some of the intangibles with playing basketball. I mean, what is for you personally here, Noah, just that makes it so special to play, whether practice, a game, being with your teammates and coaches, I said even off the court. What is it about the sport that really makes it so unique?
I've been playing the game since I was a baby, man. Since I was 2 years old in the little tech hoop, just getting those shots up, since day one. But I just love the journey of it all.
Yeah.
Really, the highs and lows of it all. I just, even from high school, not playing that much, but still, wanting to get in the gym every day, and you
Hmm.
know, just getting shots up, or going through intense workouts. I didn't at times know how things would pan out, but
Yeah.
just like you said, for the love of the game, and that passion,
Yeah.
that I've burning inside of me since I was a young child. That's just every little facet of the game, just intrigues me and just, keeps me going. So, it's really just kind of intrinsic value for me.
Hmm.
I don't really play for any, like accolades, or for like, just
Yeah.
external things. Just I love the hoop.
Yeah,
Simple as
no,
that.
that's awesome to hear. And I just building upon that in terms of like the strength and conditioning, the nutrition, rest and recovery, because that's really important in terms of keeping your body in optimal shape. Talk about that, because I think that's critical in terms of being I said a young athlete that you just. And I was wondering where that growth spurt took place here, and you got that. I said again off the charts, wingspan here, Noah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the recovery. That's been
Yeah.
honestly for me a real big thing the last year or so.
Mm.
Um, I kind of was forced to pay more attention to it, because I was kind of
Yeah.
stricken with knee tendonitis, or patellar
Okay.
tendonitis.
Okay.
So just stretching,
Yeah.
icing, heat,
Hmm.
all that. Taking care of my body, and making sure that not only just doing things, but knowing the impact of what I'm doing, and kind of the effects it has on my body, and
Yeah.
when to do certain types of treatments, and rest days, and active recovery days, and
Hmm.
just finding how my body works out. And then also, like you said, with nutrition,
Yeah.
learning to feed myself, or feed my body what it needs to be able to compete at that high level.
Yeah.
And as I got to the collegiate level, that's the importance of that is intensified, going every day, and going hard for 2-3 hours almost every day. So
Yeah.
and plus extra work on top of that. So you really gotta be intentional with what you're doing, to make sure your body is going to keep working at an efficient level that you want it to.
Yeah, you definitely have been able to find that recipe, for success. Hey, tell about making the transition from high school to college. It's a big leap, and I'm wondering for you how that process evolved. For you personally, Noah.
Yeah. So it was a pretty I don't want to say it rocky, but there were some things that I had to learn, and I think a lot of it
Hmm.
just came with game time and getting in game reps.
Yeah.
At high school, I didn't play that much, all throughout all 4 years. I wasn't even on varsity till the last 2 years.
Hmm.
So I just wasn't, didn't have that game experience as much, and a lot of it came from just AAU. And that style is obviously a lot different than a
Yeah.
collegiate systemic style of play. So I did a post grad year last year, and
Okay.
I got to play a lot more. high school, obviously, and then that was a big time for
Yeah.
me. And I think that played a crucial role in kind of um,
Mm,
um, helping more so transfer in this high school to college, because it was kind of like that in between period. I learned a
mhm.
lot, and then
Yeah.
as I got to collegiate level, just added on top of what I learned from the previous year. And just like I said, kind of just it was like beginning, just kind of learn just IQ things,
Mhm.
the speed of the game and all the others I feel that a lot of younger players struggle with. I kind of didn't
Yeah.
have an issue with, just because I've been lucky enough to just have people around that I was always playing with older guys, or even family members I know that play professionally. I would be
Mhm.
around them, just be able to push me. So really, just I would say like IQ and
Yeah.
in-game experience. That was the biggest thing that for me, transitioning from high school to and from prep
Yeah.
to college.
Yeah, I think and that's becoming immensely popular in this. I see across the country is that post grad year. And a lot of these academies, I think it really does benefit the athlete having that extra year before they venture off to a college. And I think what again, going up against some of the best competition said there is across this country. Again, can only be a positive and a plus for an athlete. So that's great to see. Hey, I want to ask you about Jackson College. Really to piggyback on that, just your time there, and just in terms of playing on the team as well, your teammates, your coaches as well. Here, Noah.
No, yeah, it's been great here so far. And just uh, I got the offer to go to Jackson pretty late in the summer, so
Hmm.
I kind of just upped my bags and took
Yeah.
off. Within the span of 2 weeks of getting that offer and then getting everything situated. But
Yeah.
throughout the season, it's been a whole lot of fun, just with my teammates and I. Getting to know each other, and really, I felt like this team, over previous teams I've been on, it's been like really the closest feel to like a family, like a real brotherhood. Everybody on the
Hmm.
team is cool with each other. Nobody's, it's not really clicky like some teams can be. Like everybody's
Yeah.
cool with everybody, and it's really just it's a fun environment to play with. Even just through the ups and downs of what a season will bring.
Yeah.
But it's been just a great season for us, and even though we didn't kind of finish how we wanted to, I'm still proud of the progress we made, and stuff we still accomplished.
Yeah, it's great to hear. So I'm wondering, whether it's college or definitely the NBA. What players do you really pay particular close attention to here, Noah, so to try to mold your game after, or their game after, and maybe pick up on some of their nuggets and their tendencies that they have during the course of a game in the season as well.
Oh, yeah, a couple guys that I like, that are a little bit newer, or kind of relatively,
Hmm.
are Tyrese Halliburton and CJ McCollum.
Yeah.
I just like Tyrese Halliburton, a big point guard, excellent passer. I try to pick up on that. That's one thing, that I
Yeah.
try to emulate in my game. Also a really good shooter, and then CJ McCollum,
Hmm.
just really good mid-range guy. I like how he can get to his spots with a lot of counters that he has. He gets not the super or not the most athletic, but
Yeah.
he still is able to get where he wants to go. And when I was younger, Kevin Durant is like a big guy that I
Yeah.
I love watching. That's my
Yeah.
favorite player. But 7 foot guard, that's uh can't teach that. But still just seeing even how he goes about getting to his spots, getting off screen. He's just the attention of the defense. Every
Yeah.
game. So just picking up on what those three guys, I feel are the main ones,
Yeah.
I try to model my game after.
It's so interesting. It just popped into my head. I was watching earlier today. I think it was NBA Countdown. It said, or NBA Today on ESPN. They were talking about the corner three, and you were talking
Mm.
about picking your spots. And I'm like, because you're a guy that can hit it. Said to hit the trifectas, and from downtown. It just it's so interesting that because they mentioned that's the smallest part on the court in terms of hitting. Said. Shots, from long range. It just, I'm wondering I had to ask you about that because the fact that you mentioned again, you got to pick your spots on the court, where you're going to hit that shot. But like, just wanted to get your take on your perspective as well here, Noah.
No, yeah, definitely. The corners are one spot, especially during the season. I hit those a lot,
Yeah,
especially when teams would go zone on us from time to time. With this offense we had, I was able to kind of sneak through and run through cuts and get open looks.
yeah.
But for me, honestly, my favorite spots are the wings,
Okay,
and the
okay.
left wing specifically. And it's funny because in the driveway, kind of the way it's set up, the pavement,
Hmm.
um, there's more space on the left side. So when I
Okay.
was younger, I always shoot on that side, and I got real comfortable right there. So,
Yeah,
that's kind of just been the same way, just growing up, just shooting, hours outside, out there.
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, like I said, the left wings, and then corners, really just um, wherever I can get a look.
Yeah.
I'll try to let it fly. But definitely.
Yeah. That's terrific to hear. Hey, I have to ask you, every player has their superstitions and their, pregame warm-up routine and just what is transpiring through your mind like before you, of course, take that court, you get ready for the game, and then once you're on there, and I'm always fascinated because like, what a player, from their perspective, what they're seeing out there on the court when they're with their teammates. So I'm just wondering on those both levels, just wanted to get your what flows through your mind.
Just pregame.
Yeah, pregame and
Okay.
then once you're out there on the court.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
pregame. It's gonna sound kind of wild, but I like to listen to gospel music pregame.
Okay.
It
Okay.
calms my mind down. It calms my mind
Yeah.
hearing that worship and praise music. And then sometimes I'll read verses. Just like usually I don't really have anything too specific. Other than that, maybe
Hmm.
I'll just stretch.
That's good.
Get loose. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But during the game, um. I I kind of just when I first get in because I came off the bench for most of the season.
Hmm. Yeah.
I really just I don't want to say I had jitters, but more so just kind of really trying to lock in. Like on the bench, I would try to observe, what the
Yeah.
starters would do, and then coming in what I could do to
Yeah.
adjust and what needs to be done differently for my role. But then once I kind of get in the flow of things, not really thinking too much, just going out there and
Yeah.
doing what I can do. Um, Other than, I mean, I would say on defense, pretty attentive, but on
Yeah.
offense, just really just trying to get things moving and not make sure we're not stagnant, as much as
Hmm.
possible.
Yeah, I think there's quite a bit you can pick up when you're on the bench, just as you, again, I mean, seeing what the starters, how they're performing, and then just the way the action is going back and forth. And then I'm sure there's a lot once you get in there, and just in terms of that communication with your teammates as well is so essential, Noah.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Hey, as we know, it's just not being an athlete, it's being a student athlete. You've definitely been able to flourish in the classroom, 3.61 GPA, uh, software, computer science major at Jackson College, recently made the dean's list. I mean, just again, tremendous accomplishments. I mean, obviously, and you mentioned you're very motivated and you want to find, said a basketball home that will allow you to develop as a student and basketball player, but being able to have that time management organization, ironclad and pat down, that's got to really feel, extremely rewarding, Noah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would probably credit that to my high school. I went to a really academically rigorous school. So
Okay.
early on, I kind of had a rude awakening just with the workload, and then having, like you said,
Yeah.
that time management. Because we
Hmm.
had honestly more of like a college style of setup with our schedule, with we had a lot of free time, in between classes, and things like that. So I was able to learn pretty early on just how to navigate that. So once I got to college, it made it a lot more easy, or it made it easier.
Hmm.
And still, that's a pretty tough major.
Yeah.
And then in season, it's hard to, sometimes when you're like, sometimes I'll be long days and long nights.
Hmm.
And finding that time to just get that work in, and then really just finding the discipline to do it, when you're burnt out, tired from,
Yeah.
everything else you got going on throughout the day. But, like I said, just think early on what I learned, kind of helped prepare me for, what I'm going through now.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect word to describe is having the discipline. I mean, that's the and that regimen, like, just to have that in place. Because again, with all the demands of, practices, you know, training, lifting weights, then the gains per se, the travel, it all adds up. And I'm sure you got accustomed to that in high school, but it probably picks
Yeah.
up, significantly, of course, when you're in college, it's an entirely different, situation. So it's just like, but again, high school, does prepare, for that. Hey, wanted to ask you, as we know, we live in a day and age of social media, utilizing, highlight videos, posting them, Twitter, Instagram. Wanted to ask you, about that. I'm sure that's helped you, again, get your name out there as well here, Noah.
No, certainly, certainly. And it's a funny story. So my senior year in high school, I played in a men's league, kind of at a local field house.
Hmm.
Um, and I just took in the film from that. My dad would come record the games. And I took the film from that and I just began sending that out. And I'm kind of thinking I'll get laughed at, just from, how that looks, the eye test,
Yeah.
I'm playing against just like, it doesn't really look like I'm playing against anybody who can hoop seriously. But I got some looks from that actually, and that's kind of how things had started to pick up. And just seeing, just kind of how like that was sort of a low point, that point in time, but just seeing, even, how that was able to help me and just kind of get myself out there, like you said, it's just,
Hmm.
you know, crazy how that resource can be used, nowadays.
Yeah.
And definitely, like you said, it's helped me out, helped me to kind of pave the way as I've come along.
Yeah, no, definitely. And hey, I wanted to give a shout out and definitely, give credit to before we came on there. Chad Jones, Global Sports Consulting, has done again, just a unbelievable job. Just really and was able to arrange just talk about working with Chad as well.
No, yeah, he's done a remarkable job with, not just me, but my father, staying in contact with both of us and like you said, getting me put out there.
Hmm.
It's really just been, extremely helpful, for us the last month or so that we've been in contact with him. But like you said, he's amazing, amazing job
Yeah,
for me. I really appreciate it.
that's great. You mentioned your dad. I wanted to ask you about family support. It's so important, especially during this journey, through athletics and academics, playing basketball specifically. Noah, just talk about that. How much they've meant to you here.
No, yeah, definitely. Family support has really been a big, big part of my journey. My parents didn't, play sports much in their youth, but my
Yeah.
dad, he kind of, as I had gotten older, he started to kind of figure out the nuances of basketball recruiting and how those things
Hmm.
go. So he's been a big help for me, like I said, just from something to coming and recording games to helping me reach out, talking to other family members that have played at the Division I level professionally,
Hmm.
getting advice from them. And then my mother, like I said, still doesn't know too much about it, but she's helped,
Yeah.
with some as small as taking me to practices, taking me to games, and that really goes a long way, and it can be taken for granted.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older, I've really come to appreciate, all they've done for me looking back and just kind of seeing how far I've come with all of this. They've been
Yeah.
there every step of the way. And, like I said, not just the immediate family, but extended as well.
Yeah.
And lending out a helping hand.
It's great. Hey, as you know, with all the pressures of academics and athletics, you need to kick back. So, got to ask you, I said an easy one here. What hobbies, are yours, and like just so where you can like clear your head, relax, and take a deep breath here, Noah.
No, yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I like a big thing that I do is I read the Bible pretty often,
Okay.
studying that.
Yeah.
And just being able to meditate on that. That's really as I've gotten older and started living for Christ more, that's been a big thing for me.
Mhm.
And that takes up a lot of my free time, but also, just spending time with friends, family,
Yeah.
just close people in my circle, that I can just have a good time with and, like you said, kick back and relax and take my
Yeah.
mind off things. I
Yeah.
think that's
Definitely.
really important with, like you said, having a lot going on with the basketball world, academic and everything else.
Hmm.
it's important to, um, realize that you can have a life outside of that,
Yeah.
and really be able to, cherish that, and spend those times, and make memories with those special people in your life.
That's true. Yeah, well said about that. Yeah, I think you're in a great spot here, just to offer some much needed advice and a message, for the younger kids out there. And as you know, we live in a very, as competitive and demanding, said world here, and just in terms of playing sports and trying to move up that ladder. I'm just wondering what you would say to them if they were to watch this interview here, Noah.
I would tell them, just keep at it every day and don't compare yourself. That was a big thing I had gotten into when I was younger, just especially in this day and age with social media, seeing other guys, it looked like they were ahead of me, and like their progress, was a lot more
Hmm.
advanced in mine. But, just like you said, you're in a battle with yourself, so as long as
Hmm.
you're getting better 1% every day, that's all you can do, and you can't really force the process. You really have to just take it day by day. But as long as you keep at it and really, work hard and, stay disciplined, that's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
it'll go a long way, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, all valid points. Well said here, Noah. All right, you're gonna get the last word here. A message, Noah. For family, friends, teammates, coaches. Even past teachers. I really want to give you the floor. It's just yeah, well deserved here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Just for whoever I want to.
Yeah, yeah. I know there are a lot of people you probably
Oh
want to
yeah.
thank here, Noah.
No, definitely. There's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Man, one person that comes to mind is my senior year English teacher actually. That was kind of a really rough time for me with COVID, and then I had struggled in school, basketball kind of. I wasn't even on the team at that point. Uh,
Hmm.
and she really she was an outlet for me. And we just talked everything, talked life, and she, as it felt like a lot of people um kind of had best way to word it, kind of just had, I don't want to say looked down on me, or just kind of thought less of me just because of what I was going through, and just kind of how things had looked. She still, that was, a main resource, and she really helped me get through that time. And I still talk to her sometimes to this day, and
Hmm.
just we'll fill her in on life, and then vice versa. So great appreciation for her. Just like I said, that was a tough time in life, but
Yeah.
she helped me get through that for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because COVID was very difficult for so many young people across this country and affected mental health. But just in terms of athletics, I'm wondering, like, just to be able to. I mean, we're still in the midst of it, but we're back to pretty much normal, where normal day activities, games, seasons not getting canceled. I mean, that's got to be like just it's got to again provide that extra adrenaline, that boost, just that knowing you can go out there and play the game that you love.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And during that time, that was another essential time I felt, just with getting better. I was outside in the summer, almost every day. And
Yeah.
then Indiana, things kind of had opened up pretty early, I feel like, compared to the rest of the country.
Yeah.
So I was just in there pretty often. Gyms were mostly empty for the most part,
Yeah.
and then just being able to get in there and, just get better every day. And, I was still 16, 17 years old. So that was,
Yeah.
kind of in that transitioning spot. But like you said, even though, that the COVID kind of broke out during a tough time for me, it's still, I feel like, I learned a lot during that time, and I was able to get a lot out of it, despite,
Yeah.
kind of a lot of the negatives that came out of that time,
That's
obviously.
true.
But,
Yeah.
like you said, just being able to kind of, like you said, things are kind of back to normal now. So I'm able to look at it with a new perspective,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that yeah, again, great point. How would it, once something popped into my head is that playing basketball, the first time you put a jersey on, a uniform on, and what that feeling was. I mean, it must have been exhilarating, just the fact that, here you are, out on the court, playing for a team. Do you remember that or recall that time?
A little bit. I remember younger, I used to be
Yeah,
really, really shy. So it was kind of like the
yeah,
YMCA where you would have on the colored wristbands and then
yeah.
you would guard those days. Yeah, but just even from what I remember of those days, I remember it was just, a lot of fun just going out there, like you said, playing basketball, having a
Yeah,
good time. And then when you're younger, you obviously, don't have, I feel like there's not the worries of,
yeah,
who's watching or, just certain expectations, stuff like that. You're just going out and having fun. So
yeah.
even now, it's still fun for me. There's no really pressure at all to,
Hmm.
I mean, obviously I have to go out and perform, but it's just
Yeah,
I'm having fun out there, doing what I love. So I feel like I still kind of have that childlike
yeah.
outlook on it. But I still I'm grateful for
Yeah.
that. So definitely.
Yeah. Hey, what's been the reaction from your hometown? Like, just in terms of your success and just like, growing up there and like, now seeing, how far you've progressed. I mean, it's gotta be also a great feeling as well here, Noah.
No, definitely, definitely. Like I said, the journey's been really long and really, really, it's been all over the place. But
Yeah.
just God has brought me along, through it all, and even when I felt like the only He and my family were the only people in my corner,
Hmm.
um, it's still just looking back. I feel like even like just from the outside looking in, you could see my development. But just for me, seeing and experience everything actually that I went through,
Yeah.
just looking back on it, it's just it really means a lot to me just seeing, like I said, how far
Yeah.
that he's brought me through it all, and just
Yeah.
how it shaped me into the man I am today.
Hey, final one is that was there one game, that really stands out, so far in your, basketball career that you say, you sit there and you say, wow, I was able to, accomplish that. I'm just, offhand, if you recall.
I would say last season, well, actually probably two. Last season, at prep school, we played St. Thomas More. That was a pretty there's like a powerhouse school in New
Hmm.
England. And I had say 24, 25 points against them.
Okay.
But we were kind of expected to, get washed by them basically.
Yeah.
But I came out, I had maybe five or six threes that game, and I believe Roy Williams was there because I think his grandson was either the coach or I'm not sure. I just had kind of heard rumors about it, but I had seen
Yeah.
him there. But that was a big game for me, and just seeing that like I said, proving to myself that I could play um,
Hmm.
at a high level like that against high competition. That was
Yeah.
big. And then senior year summer before prep school, I played AAU as an unsigned senior, and I had a 40-point game actually uh,
Okay.
against this. I think it was a school from Michigan. But just really kind of that was like I said, it's kind of a similar thing to seeing that I really could just go out
Yeah.
there and just take over, and it was a lot of fun, just going out there.
Yeah.
But we got the win, so that was the most important thing for me to keep advancing in that little tournament. But
Yeah.
just those two games, I would say, were big for me, and just kind of seeing like, wow, I really,
Yeah.
not only just seeing that work being put in, kind of come into play, and being shown, but showing I could be really good at this sport. So
Yeah.
it those are, like I said, two instances I would say.
Yeah, I think you definitely have surpassed all expectations. It's just wonderful to see, again, your hard work, said every year, said you obviously have put the time in and now it's, it's paying off. And anyway, wishing you, said continued success. I'm sure that, said there are greater, said days ahead. And, I'm sure that, we'll be hearing your name. So just, keep up, said the outstanding work here, Noah.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, just an incredible honor and privilege. Thank you.
Yeah, same here. Thank you.
Thank you.